G'day everyone. What I've got here with me today is the CTS 30 thickness gauge. I'm going to take you through three things. That's setting up the high and low gate limits, so setting up alarms for that. We're going to take readings, review the data on the device, and then also getting data over to the computer ready to generate meaningful reports. Stick around. Okay, so we've got the unit. We've got a 5mm to 25mm test block. We've got 10mm to 1mm test block here. What we're going to start now is set the lower limit up. So we're going to set it approximately at 4mm. So if we do any thickness readings below 4mm, the alarm will sound. And we'll set the upper limit at 15mm. So anything above that, it'll obviously sound. And so this is what you can expect the operation to be like. We'll turn it on. Great, it's on. This is the normal screen without any backlight. We can turn on the backlight. We get indication saying that the backlight is on. Go into our menu here. We'll navigate the menu. So here under the 10th menu item, it says limitation. We go into limitations. We can set up the lower limitation to 4mm. We can navigate that, any digit here. And then we can scroll up and down to change that figure. The upper limit is set to 15mm, and we can also change the reference, which is this 4mm test block inside. So if we're doing a calibration block on anything else, we can fix that up too. All right, we can go back to the menu, and now we'll change the overload signal. So once it's outside the lower limit or upper limit, you can set it to off. You can just set it to give an indication on the screen. We've got it set to sign and sound. So we will have a small beep in the device sound, as well as an indication on the screen when it's working outside that. Rather than going just to back to the menu, we'll go all the way back to the main screen and start. This is a 4mm, 6. Right, so we've got that. We haven't heard anything yet, but if we jump down to 2mm, let me just put that close to the mic. All right, great. So you can hear that on the lower limit. You can see also, you can see the indication here saying the coupling is good and the reading is good. And then when we go down to the lower limit, we know the alarm's going, and irrespective of that number, we can also see that it's a lower alarm limit. So when we exceed 15mm, for example, we can hear the alarm and we can see that it's H, so it's exceeded the upper alarm limit as well. It might do the same because it's just over 15mm there. So that's something to think about when you're doing your inspections and thickness readings, is your limits. That if you aren't always able to see the device, or you don't necessarily need to look at the device to know the thickness readings, but you want to know whether it's outside the limits, so you can set your limits and then listen for the noise as you're doing your scanning, might help you be a little bit more efficient and able to focus on other things happening around you. Okay, moving on. Okay, if we were to take a series of readings going down this test block, we were to take 6 readings, and for example, you wanted to do that 4 times in a row, whether you were doing a grid map or you were just doing circumferential cardinal point thickness readings around a pipeline. This is what the information would look like. We've got 24 readings here already in the system, and we can review that. So we saved the reading by going in and pressing save. We can see that it's logged a new thickness reading, and now we can go review all 25 readings by going into, it's like opening the book. Let's take a look in. So what we've got, our information, our data here is what it's telling us is our first reading, the velocity, and the thickness that was recorded. And this on screen is just the first 6 readings. So this is just showing you reading each reading, but this is the actual data reading identification number. So we can scroll down through this and we'll see these figures change when we change like through a new page. So what we've done is we've taken another 6 readings, going down the test block. That's the velocity, and we can go, and you can see that the data values change. We're at 17, 23, and 20. Data ID 24. That was just the last reading there. Well, just one more thing. On the last reading, we know that this reading was 6 millimeters on the test block, but the actual reading, let's go in and have a look at that reading number 25. It's actually showing 6.42, so that's not very accurate. Maybe we just had a little bit of left, or we pressed the save button at the wrong moment, and we weren't putting enough downward pressure to actually get a true thickness reading. What we can do here, we know that this data ID number is number 24. Let's go into the menu. We're going to clear some of the data. And rather than all the data between 0 and 5,000, which is the maximum data points that can be recorded in this, we're going to just go in here and specifically target one reading. Okay, and we're going to hit that. So it gave us, told us to wait. It's deleted it. Normally, if it were to go through the entire memory bank, it might take up to 30 seconds to delete everything. Let's go and confirm that. Main menu, go to our library of readings. We'll scroll through to the last. There is no further reading. There is no reading 24. We can't scroll further into any more data points. Okay, so that's deleted. Now let's go put all the good, clean data into the computer. Okay, all you need to consider is the USB cable and the device. It's got the USB port in the base, and you're going to connect the two. You're going to run a very simple SUI software, run through transmitting it from the menu. There's actually a transmit button on here. You activate that, it'll send the signals to the computer, and then you get to save a text file, TXT. This file is universal, can be opened in any application, Excel, Sheets, whatever you're running on your computer. What we've got here is just Google Sheets. We've downloaded the 24 readings. We've got it as we saw it on the device. So we've got the data ID number, the velocity, and then also the thickness reading. But this is just Sheets. You then grab the information you need, drop it in your own reports, and make it your own, because it's what your customer wants that's going to bring real value. Okay, one more thing. This is wrist mounted, and because it's got nice big digits on it, and you get to hold the probe, you're able to do your testing. For example, here you're able to concentrate on where you're actually putting the probe and still see the screen here. But it's not hanging off my neck. I don't have to look down, and I don't have to look somewhere else for the device that's giving me the indications. So it's not here on the bench next to me, and I have to figure out that reading as opposed to looking at the place, making sure that the probe is in good contact and in the right location for the test. That's a bonus. See you around.